Today we are going to form this flat piece of clay into an owl. The first step is using the rolling pin to roll out our clay until it is just big enough for our lid to fit. As we roll out our clay, we need to make sure that we are working from the center out and not making it too thin. Rolling it just enough for the lid to fit, placing it upside down so that the ring is facing up like shown. If you're having a hard time rolling it, it might be easier if you try standing up. Now we are going to use the sharp end of the wooden stick to cut around the lid. It is probably a good idea to go around the lid at least twice, then making a straight cut off the edge of the clay, which will make it easier to take the excess clay off of your circle. Carefully peel the extra clay off from your circle and place it on the edge of your work surface, as we will be using it in later steps. Please do not make it into a ball, as we will need it flat. Now carefully peel off your lid. To remove the sharp edges on the circle we just cut, dip your finger once into the little cup of water and smooth out the edge, making sure not to press too hard. You should only need to dip your finger 3 times at most into the water to smooth it out, as you do not want to use too much water, making your clay too soft. Next, we are going to use a marker cap to add texture of feathers to our owl. With your cap at a slight angle, not straight, gently press into the clay, making half circle marks on your clay. Make sure that you do not press too hard, as you do not want to go all the way through your clay. Just making marks at the surface. Continue until you have the amount of texture you want in the center of the clay. To form the wings of your owl, you are going to carefully fold over the edge of the circle towards the middle. Then gently press down. Repeat on the other side to form your second wing. As you are doing this, you might want to make sure that your water is off of your clay mat. As you can see, the water is moving and it could spill if you don't move it. To form the head and ears, we will fold the top down towards the middle. Here, showing it from another angle to show that as you fold it over, it naturally forms 2 points that you can pinch together for the ears. Then gently press down. To make the eyes, we are going to again use our marker cap. Gently press the cap, making a circle mark into your clay. You will then use the wooden stick to make further details like eyelashes, and then use the back end of the stick to make the center of the eyes. Remember to press gently, making sure not to press all the way through the clay. Now you're going to form the texture of the long feathers of the wings of the owl. Use the sharp end of the stick to make long marks going down the wings for these feathers. Using the end of your stick, push all the way through your clay, then twist gently, leaving a hole in the clay. Repeat on the other side to make 2 holes that you will later use to display your sculpture. Using the scraps of clay, cut a triangle shape to form the beak of your owl. Now form into a beak shape. Once done, we need to make sure that it sticks to the clay during the drawing process. You will use the sharp end of your stick and make little tiny scratch marks under the eyes, then place 1 drop of water onto those scratch marks. The combination of the scratch marks and water give the pieces of clay something to grab onto so that they do not fall off once dry. Then gently press your beak onto the owl, completing your sculpture. Now, as the artist, you need to sign your work. With your hand spread out over your owl, carefully use your other hand to turn it over into the spread out hand. Using the sharp end of your wooden stick, lightly and neatly write your name and your room number on the back. Remember to press gently, as you do not want to push all the way through. Turn your owl back over and a volunteer will come and collect your owl to place it into the box to dry. Your owl will then dry for about a week before going into the kiln where the soft brittle clay will be turned into a hard surface.